Welcome, welcome. It's Monday. No, it's not. What day is it? Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
What does that say when you forget the day of the week? Do you ever forget the day of the week?
I do. Sometimes I forget what week it is, which is even worse.
That's even better. So the show's called The Business Life today. Let me just say this in all candidness. If you're listening, I want you to either record the show or listen to the podcast. Cody, when's the podcast going to be on?
Podcast of the show should be up, let's see, tomorrow afternoon, before.
Okay, so this is kind of a game changer show. I don't do a lot of these shows. You can play the music in the background. I like that. I like a little George Strait in the background. So her name is Kathleen Bruno. Yes, she happens to be one of the top 10 realtors in the United States. She lives right here in Santa Clarita, and she's number one in Santa Clarita. But we're not going to talk about real estate today. She's with Troop 21. We're not going to talk about real estate. We save that for Thursday for Charlene Gill's show. But today we're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about a 3-day conference this young lady went to that she says is a game changer for her. I talked to her last night about the conference, and a couple things that she said we'll share with you. So we're kind of teasing this thing a little bit. So if you're driving, I don't want you to do anything but get home safe. But when you get home, go to hometownstation.com and go to hometownstation.com. You can listen to our show live. You can also download our app. If you want to pull off to the side of the road, download the app in the App Store. KHTS 1220 AM is in the App Store. And you're listening probably on 98.1. Big, strong signal, 98.1 FM, heard all over Southern California. So my partner, 20 years doing the show called The Business Life, his name is Jimmy Piccirillo. He doesn't know that I have this incredible lady with us, Kathleen Bruno. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing, Coach?
Don't touch his knee,
morning.
Kathleen. He's very sensitive.
Good morning, everybody.
So Kathleen Bruno went to a conference for 3 days. Thanks for turning my mic down.
Sorry.
Put your hand away from that. Don't
you're
touch
so
that.
loud in mine. I'm trying to get.
That's fine. How are you, Jimmy? Before we start with Kathleen, I'm giving people a chance to pull off the road, download the app, KHTS 1220 in the App Store, or get home and go to Hometown Station. This is a big show today.
It is. It's good advice because I just drove in from across town and traffic's horrible. It's a lot of people out there, so be safe.
Did you listen to 98.1?
No, I didn't. I listened to Neil Young's Psychedelic Pill. So
hey. You are the biggest music freak. Your Facebook's always about music.
I love music, man.
That's
what brought me to California. That's what's kept me here. So
what's your favorite group right now?
Neil Young, Psychedelic Pill. No.
Is that really the name of it?
It's called Psychedelic Pill. It's an older album.
What about you, Kathleen Bruno? Do you have a favorite group? Doesn't she have a great smile?
You know what? I
you can
don't
see her
have a
smile on
favorite
YouTube, right, Cody? Oh, here's the camera right there.
Oh, not necessarily. I kind of let the music just move through me, so I don't try to cling on to any one thing. Whatever resonates with me, I just love it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Country music for me.
I love that. Is my favorite. I like country music and classical.
You and I are the only two left. I
like country music.
Oh, you do?
I like Americana music, which is
an
offshoot of. Yeah. It's kind of alt country. I don't like big hat polished country. I like a little more folksy. Yeah.
So let's get into it a little bit. Get in the show a little bit. One of the questions that came up last night when I was talking to Kathleen about coming on today. I said, well, give me one takeaway from your 3-day conference. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is free. You're listening for free. We're not charging you anything, although we should, Cody, don't you think, charge for people to listen?
Yeah, why not?
What do you think we could get, like $5,000 per listener?
Well, how long do they have to listen for?
An hour. Show's an hour.
$5,000 an hour, that's,
yeah,
reasonable, right?
It's the kind of money Kathleen Bruno makes in her real estate business.
That's good money down in the back room.
I'm gonna do live Facebook here. I'm gonna have well, you know how to do live. When Kathleen, I want you to do the live for me, Cody Como, when Kathleen starts to speak. Okay, so I asked her. I said, "What was your one takeaway?" She said, "I can't give you one takeaway." So finally, probing, she says, "Well." I forgot the notes.
Hello, Coach. Ground control to
We're
Kathleen, what was the
Well,
conference
okay.
you
Well,
went
let me-
to?
let me
Tell us
just-
We're
about it.
landing. We're
He's going to
tighten your
jump too
seat.
far into the future. So I went to the conference because it's fascinating to me that there are even people that are very, very successful in one area of life are not successful in other areas of life. And that doesn't make sense to me. And I wanted it to make sense to me, and I wanted to be able to apply it to everything. So, we talked about the 5 F's, the family, finance, fitness, the things I believe in, the 5 things I really, really believe in. So based on that, I went to this.
But here's what I remember.
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Here-
But this is why this is important. Because when you do amazing in one area and then flounder in another area, I do amazing in real estate and fight with my 17-year-old. I don't want to fight with my 17-year-old. So the difference is, believe it or not, the only meaning to anything is the meaning that you apply to it, which sounds hokey and sounds far-fetched, but if you really take it back, that's exactly what's happening. So when you decide that you want something and you make a decision to get something, and this is in business, all the areas that you've been successful, haven't you just made a decision to be successful and driven towards that end goal?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think you're exactly right.
No, but that wasn't the question. That was not the question
What?
that I asked you last night. You said something's going on in your life. Don't you remember? You said what?
Oh, yes, yeah. But you're jumping too far ahead in the
Oh,
program.
I'm jumping too far. Sorry. I'm jumping too far.
No, it just,
Patience, grasshopper.
yes, we have to back up. But it's interesting when you're trying to do something different, do something new, do something better. There's a reason why, even though you want to do that, you don't inevitably do that. So you want to eat better. You want to not fight with your teenager. You want to be better in business. And yet somehow you keep coming up against the same brick wall. And there's a reason for that, because your brain is structured in a way that with the way you filter stuff, all the information that comes to you in this world, you keep filtering it the same way. And as you filter it the same way, you get the same results. So that's a undeniable truth.
And I agree with everything you're saying. So you're saying you need to adjust your filters as you move through life, right?
No, I'm saying you
Well,
cannot.
you said we filter everything the same.
We do.
So how do we change our filters?
You don't. You don't change your filters. You come to the realization that you have filters, and that when you make a decision to do something that you haven't been successful in before, realize that so if I want to not fight with my 17-year-old and then still do, as soon as he does something that I perceive as disrespectful, because I put the meaning on that action as disrespectful,
Right.
then my filters that I know rise up and I act a certain way. You're not going to treat me like that. I'm this is the consequence if that happens.
Right.
But that's my filters. So if I stop and know that, then I can choose something different.
Right.
So if I say, you know what, I've decided I'm going to be the best mom in the world, and I choose just to love him, no matter what he says to me, I can choose just to love him. And that's what I'm talking about causes the change, which is not really a change, it's just a new thing.
Yeah, how do you keep emotions out of all of that? I mean, we all have kids and
You don't.
grandkids, and,
don't.
it's frustrating.
You don't keep emotions out of it. You don't keep any of your filters out. You don't keep any of your emotions out. You keep an integrity of what you've decided you're going to be.
What was the name of this conference you went to?
I went to Landmark.
Landmark. And what is that in general? I mean, what?
It's a transformative learning conference. And
Maybe
and
too
it
much
was.
for you and I to pick up, but I'm so interested in some things that Kathleen Bruno said. You're listening to KHTS 1220, Jim Piccirillo and the Coach Ron Tunick here on award-winning KHTS 1220, 98.1. So back to something's going on in your life today. Let's delve into that a little bit. So all of us have things going on in our lives, right?
Yes.
So how we deal with that, isn't that the essence of the conference? How we deal with challenges, problems, even sometimes good things have an unnerving. Does that make sense, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Even sometimes really good things are unnerving.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, because that's the meaning you've put to it.
I'm working on a couple projects now that I've done 10 times, but I still have butterflies. It's weird. You would say
Because you're putting that meaning on there. Whatever the meaning
I know
is,
exactly
it gives
what
you,
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Can you talk into the mic? Thank you. So go back to that meaning thing.
I don't like being monkey in the middle, so I don't know who to talk to.
I'm in your chair again, which
Yeah,
I know.
thank you,
That's
Kathleen.
why I got here an hour early.
What is that,
just so I could
power
sit
of
here.
positive, aggressive thinking, or what?
Yeah, all those things.
Did you learn that at the conference?
Yes.
Yeah, something like
Otherwise,
that.
I would have been in the hallway.
This is philosophical stuff. You like philosophical stuff, don't
Sure,
you?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
a heady guy.
Yeah, but so go back to the meaning. So we put talk to our audience about meaning. We put a meaning to things that comes from our own life experiences and references that have nothing to do with reality. Did I nail it?
Totally. Beautiful. But here's what you have to get is that you can't not do that. So when you do that, which you will because you can't help yourself, none of us can, you decide who you're creating in yourself, and then you stay in integrity and make your choices based on integrity. Because as soon as you say you want to lose weight, and then all the stuff's going on in your filter saying, well, I don't look that bad, or it's no big deal, I'll do it tomorrow. That's your filters talking. That's your way it always was talking. So when you decide you're going to do something or be something, and you only put integrity behind that, every emotion, every action is filled to accomplishing that, then you accomplish it. So it's like you being successful. When you decided it, you did it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't decide to be successful. And it's kind of like you said earlier, like, why are you successful in one area but not another? I would hearken to say that people excel at what they know and what they do well. Even if you try to apply the same 5 or 10 things that you use in a certain area of business, a lot of times they don't fit over in another business. So I think that's why people have trouble moving between different things and being successful. Now, what you're talking about, the overall ability to move between several things at once and be successful is totally different, I think. And I think either you have some kind of innate thing to do that, or you learn that as you move through life.
Did you just hear yourself? I mean, what you said is accurate. We all do it, but
I would argue with you that why is it that someone could decide today to be an amazing snowboarder and yet they've never snowboarded, but when they've decided that and spend every day and all their energy and actions moving towards that, even if they don't have an affinity for it, they can accomplish that.
Well,
this is over his pay grade.
no, I
Kathleen,
think that's kind of a loaded question. Obviously,
No,
I couldn't go out and snowboard tomorrow, even if I loved it, due to the fact of my age and my,
Lack
so
of
you don't have the tools.
athleticism?
You don't have the tools to do certain things.
I
The
disagree.
snowboarder couldn't step in a control room tomorrow and direct a 15-camera show. Just maybe a year down the road, but they couldn't do it immediately.
Right,
So,
but he could decide
Yeah.
he wanted to do that and
Yeah.
work towards those ends without letting his filters of age get in the way because he's made a decision and nothing's going to stop him.
oh, absolutely.
So I was on the ski
I-
slopes and a guy that was like 80 just went right past me. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I don't know.
Yeah, the show is very interesting today. Kathleen Bruno, one of the top 10 realtors in the United States, lives right here in Southern California. She's with Troop 21 locally. If you're in Southern California, Troop 21, Kathleen Bruno went to a 3-day conference, quite expensive. Most of us probably wouldn't invest. Is that the right word? You invested in yourself.
You bet I did.
And
Was very skeptical, I might add. I had heard if you go on the internet, it's all kinds of crazy talk, and I thought, but somebody that I respect,
yeah.
that's very successful in many areas of their life,
Yeah.
and they couldn't explain it to me, but they said, just take my word for it. I said, well, okay, I'll just take your word for it. I'm going to go. And it was fantastic.
I'm going to try to ask a good question,
Okay.
and then when we come back from break. So Jimmy and I and you, the three of us, and I'm saying this as a compliment, we're grinders.
Yes.
We don't give up easy.
Yes.
We take a lot on. We find a way to win. How does the conference that you went to would help two older guys like Jimmy and I who have figured out a way to win in life when we weren't blessed with the silver spoon. We weren't blessed with a great upbringing. We had a lot of challenges. Give us, when we come back from the break, how do we excel even at our stage, our veteran stage in life? How does that
Well,
Is that a
I'll
good
just
question?
give you a teaser because you've decided you're in a stage and put meaning to that
Oh,
stage.
God, I can't wait.
Quit boxing us in, man.
It's my job today to box you in.
Hey, when we come back, we are going to
about
get the
him.
Millennial Minute, though. Do you got some for us, Cody?
Oh yeah, of course.
Cody Como coming right back from a break. We got to listen to the Millennial Minute. He's 25 years old. I'm so curious as to what 25-year-olds think about, and I'd love to get what Kathleen adds to this, too. We'll be right back on KHTS 98.1 FM.
My neck pain. It was constant.
Whitening Lightning founder Jen Gerard.
Nothing helped. I tried it all. Then a friend told me about Mend Cryotherapy.
Mend Cryotherapy is a natural treatment that uses extreme cold to aid in the recovery of muscle, tissues, and joints. Professional athletes swear by it. Those in chronic pain love it.
Chris, Matt, and his staff are amazing.
Find out what so many others have discovered on Newhall Ranch Road in Rye Canyon by LA Fitness. Mend Cryotherapy.
No more pain.
Men, are you feeling tired, stressed, or just don't have the energy you used to? Did you know this could be related to decreased testosterone levels? Luckily, there's a safe, effective solution. Weeder Prime helps support healthy testosterone levels with clinically tested key ingredients. Just 2 capsules of Weeder Prime each day can help change your mood, energy, focus, body fat, and lean muscle. Feel the way you felt 10, 20, even 30 years ago. Rediscover your Prime with Weeder Prime. To find a retailer near you, visit WeederPrime.com. That's WEIDER Prime.com.
The SCV Pregnancy Center has provided compassionate, personalized, and confidential care for 30 years.
Angela Bennett, CEO.
Positive urine test does not confirm pregnancy. It only indicates you may be pregnant. Only a doctor can diagnose and confirm pregnancy. If you used a home test and need answers immediately, the SCV Pregnancy Center will provide immediate pregnancy test results and uses the latest technology to confirm and diagnose pregnancy. The center specializes in pregnancy testing and confirmations. Make your appointment today.
Visit scvpregnancycenter.org.
All services free and confidential.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Your hometown station.
Makes me want to cry.
I'm not in the top 10 of anything.
Yeah.
This lady's in the top 10 realtors in the United States. She's right here in Santa Clarita, Kathleen Bruno. She can have her own radio show pretty soon on Saturdays. You know why? Because, first of all, she is not only successful, but she has a way of helping people. She cares about people. That's probably why she's successful. Jim Piccirillo and I do the show every Tuesday at 1. You can listen in. Normally, we're teasing each other, having fun, giggling it up, laughing. Not today. Today, we're a little serious because this lady went to a 3-day conference, spent a lot of money that most of us wouldn't invest in ourselves. So I'm going to try to pull it out of her this second half of the show. But before we do it, the Millennial Minute, I love when Cody Como tells us what he's thinking about as 25 years old. What do you got today, bud?
All right, well, today, one thing I actually missed during the Super Bowl, because I missed some of the ads. I guess they did a commercial for a movie called The Cloverfield Paradox, I guess, but it came out as soon as the Super Bowl ended on Netflix. I know you're a big Netflix guy. And I just wanted to say I hadn't seen the movie. I heard it got bad reviews, not very good. However, I love the idea of the kind of surprise release like that. I think it's really exciting. And with movies right now feeling like, you know, you have like a year run up till they come out and the fatigue, it was kind of nice having the excitement of it's out now. Like, just go watch it.
Right.
So I thought that was cool.
I'm a Netflix junkie. You and I, I'm a little on the right, you're a little on the left. I don't even watch Fox anymore, Jimmy. And I have to tell you, I feel so much better. I actually quit watching local news and Fox News, and I just feel better about life.
I couldn't agree more. I watch absolutely no news.
Yeah.
Why would you want to put all the negative in?
So, yeah, but you have to be informed. You need to be an informed citizen. So wherever you choose to get your news from, just make sure it's real news.
But I don't want to take Kathleen's time today, but Jimmy, I thought about what you just said this morning, okay?
What did I say this morning?
Just what you said now, that you got to get your news somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So what if you didn't get any news at all? What do you think you would know differently or feel differently about your life? Seriously, you got no news at all.
I think in the beginning it would be great. You'd probably be a little less stressed. But I think as we move forward, and I don't want to get all political, but I think there's a real big attack going on in the United States on the free press and branding it and pretty soon, what they want us all to do is not be interested in the news, not be interested in the truth.
This is our show.
Not be interested in the truth, I should say.
This is our show next week because the press is not the same press that you and I grew up with. They're supposed to be the fourth rail. They're supposed to.
Yeah, they're supposed to be objective.
Yeah,
and they're
not.
No,
They
don't present facts.
There's a lot of objective reporting out there. Just because there is a lot of good journalists, a lot of good newspapers. There's a lot of good reporting on the air that's happening. Just because people brand it one way or the other, but there's this whole big push against the facts. I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, I mean, there's a real big push now to get people not to trust facts, and facts are facts. That's the thing. You cannot deny when something is proven that it's a fact. So,
okay, that's a nice segue.
There's a big push out there.
That's a great segue into what Kathleen Bruno, you and I are going to talk about. You're listening to the Business of Life, 20 years doing the show, 98.1 KHTS award-winning radio. So I like what you just said because it makes no sense. Kathleen's teaching me that you make up your own facts.
Well, that's false. I mean, you can't make up your own facts. You can't make up facts. Facts are facts. You're wearing a green shirt today.
It's
There's
yellow.
yellow. There's no doubt it's not a red shirt, right? If I want to go, Coach is wearing a red shirt, Cody.
So Jim,
now it's not a red shirt. We all know that that's not a red shirt.
But I'm going to disagree with you.
Why?
Because in and of itself, there is no color. We've all got together and decided that's yellow.
So whatever, as we all agree, that is yellow.
Yeah, but it's not really yellow.
A fact is a fact. You cannot deny a fact, And I think there's a really big problem in the country right now with people denying facts, whether it's science, health, money, politics. Everybody has this big denial thing going on.
Can you just keep your brain or mind open for a minute here?
Yeah.
Just for a second. Because what Kathleen is saying is very deep, but think about it. When we argue with our wives, you're happily married to a beautiful woman, Brenda Piccirillo.
Right.
So when you guys get into a disagreement, you have your facts and she has her facts, correct?
Right.
Those facts are...
We have our opinions. Again, if it's a fact, if her and I are arguing over something, she says, blah, 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 da, 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 here's the fact. And I can look at it and go, that's a fact.
Okay, let me set it up like this and see.
An opinion of
what
how
Jim
we
thinks.
approach a situation is different.
Jim, let me see what you think about this. Weigh in on this. 4 different people go door knocking, and they all get told no by the same person.
Right.
One person interprets that as they're not good enough. They told me no, which is the fact, but I'm not good enough. That's why they told me no. The next person interprets it as, oh, I'm less than, so that's why they told me no. The next person that interprets it is like, oh, they told me no, they weren't in a good mood.
Right.
You're saying that the fact is that they said no, but you interpret everything how you filter the world. So yeah, did he say no? Yes, that's the fact.
Well, that's true.
But how you perceive is what changes your life.
But what I perceive and what I interpret from knocking on that door, whether I like it or not, the guy said no. He does not want to be bothered or whatever. That is a fact.
No, you just injected that.
The way I approach it, maybe I go and knock on the door again. I mean, facts are facts. I mean, exactly what you're arguing now is what's going on in the media every day. The twisting and turning of things to make it seem like it's something other than what it is. If we dropped a bomb on North Korea tomorrow, if we just dropped a bomb on them, and you would look at that, when maybe you watched it on the news and you go, that's phony, that's fake, right? Or would you say that's real?
I don't know how I would interpret it.
Exactly.
Because it would.
But how would you determine
I
if it's real or not? What would make you determine that, In other words, how do you determine fact from fiction? A filter has nothing to do with that. If it happened, it was fact.
But once it's happened, it's the interpretation of what's happened that you're calling reality, which in and of itself is not reality. You're saying so.
Well, sure. If thousands of people are dead, and someone goes there and goes, "Wow, 1,000 people are dead," that's a reality. It's not whether I believe it or not. Rather go, that's fake.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. They did not do that. I'm here saying that you cannot argue facts. When you look at certain scientific facts or something that has been put in, studied, and laid out in a way that it absolutely cannot be false, it's a fact.
Okay, time out.
You can't make things up.
Time out. I have to separate you two. Okay. So when we make decisions in life based on our own reference points. Agreed, both of you agreed. We make decisions based on our own reference points.
Yes.
Those reference points come from all the data that's in our brain, our life experiences, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
So some of us turn those reference points into facts, and
Yes.
then we build these wall. Am I right?
You're spot on.
Okay, you read my book, The Thinking Room. Cheap plug for my cheap book.
I love your book, The Thinking Room.
I need to charge more for
it's
the book.
actually really super smart.
Oh, Jim liked it too.
I thought it was
a
great.
good book.
I need to charge more for it.
Yeah.
But the point is,
I liked your other book too.
Yeah, I'm working
I
on
made
it.
my daughter read that one. That
I
was a
might
good one.
change. Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. I love you, buddy. So the concept of we lock ourselves into these reference points that then become facts.
Yes, we decide what is based on.
That's not true. We don't decide what is fact. Facts decide what is facts. Your perception may change how you view it and how you think it is. A fact is a fact. You cannot change that. I mean, there is no way, I don't care what you perceive it as, and we all perceive things differently. You may not perceive it as harsh or as pretty or as ugly as I do. You may see it totally different, but whatever is the central point of the fact, the truth, you cannot deny the truth. There's just no way around it.
Well, but my thing is, you're saying
can you
it's
get
a-
Jimmy some cold water
Yeah.
here? Put some.
Hurry up! I don't want to get mad at me.
But, you know, I'm just saying, I don't buy the whole, I mean, I totally get everybody's perceptions, but a fact is a fact. You can't change that.
Well, we're more focused.
Twist it around. You can call it and rename it, reshape it, rebrand it, put it out there a lot of different ways, commentate about it all day long differently. But the truth of it is, whatever it is, if it's a fact and it's the truth, you can't change that.
All right, let me go in a different direction
I
with
would
both of
argue
you.
with that.
Let me go. Both of you are very, very successful human beings. How you started, Kathleen Bruno? You were a house mommy, right, for a number of years before.
Actually, I was very successful in business. I didn't have my children until I was 36, and then I decided to stay home. That was important to me.
Wow, good for you. Now you're teenagers, so
Yes.
And how have you, at a standing start, how did you become so successful in real estate? Were you getting trained spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically
Nothing.
prior to going to real estate?
Nothing. And that's what I find fascinating, and that's why I think this is so fundamental. No, I decided that I would be amazing at real estate. And then I lived in integrity behind that, and everything I did worked to that end. And so I created that in the end. And I'm saying you can take that exact same principle and apply it anywhere. So I wasn't applying that to my 17-year-old. I would say I wanted to be an amazing mom, and all the trappings look like I am an amazing mom. But when he came up against something that is in my filter that I think is a fact, he's being rude, and that's a fact. Well, that's...
See, I don't perceive it that way.
See, that's an interpretation, because when he...
I don't think he's rude. My filter says, wow, he's just being
That's
a
what
teenager.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You just said it was
So-
a fact. You
no,
just said it was
but
a
you
fact.
just
No, that's
agreed
what-
with.
no, that's
You
what I'm
just
saying.
came all the way around.
No, I'm just trying to say that.
Where's some applause
No,
meter
no, no,
here?
no.
Come
I'm
on.
just trying to say that everyone perceives different things.
Exactly.
That may or may not be a fact.
Exactly.
That is,
That's what I'm saying. So when he...
That's a
Some
weak
minor-
applause.
some minor
You
applause.
should have
It was a
something
fact that
stronger.
in
than
my
that.
mind, it was a fact.
Right.
So what had to...
There you go.
Easy on the sound effects.
We need
So,
more sound. But
in
did
my
you
mind,
hear,
it was a
you
fact.
just agreed with her.
And so what I had to change was what I was going to do. So you know what? If I choose to be the best mom in the world, then, and I put integrity behind that, when he's doing something that I perceive as rude, which may or may not really be rude, because I just decided it was a fact that it was rude. May be rude.
Do
it may
you
be
have
not be
bad,
rude.
Kathleen and Jim, do you guys have bad days? Do you ever, either one of you wake up and go, oh, crap, I don't want to do this?
Sure. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
And what do you do? How do you get out of that funk?
I just give myself grace. You know, oh, this is not a good day. And they're not that often, but when they come, I just let them be.
Do you let the whole day be bad, or just a few minutes of an hour?
No, but I certainly put a timeline on it. Like I couldn't just stay in that, because I start to, so my filters allow me to start saying things like, really? Because think about this and think about this, and people that wish they could get up and go somewhere, and people that wish they could have too many things to do, and people that wish they had just worked 10 hours and now they're tired and don't want to go to the grocery store. So it's all perception.
But I think you're being a lot of humility, which is great. But your subconscious mind is so well trained that you're able to overcome. Like you said, some people hear no and they just fall apart. But you hear no and for some reason it's an opportunity for you to do something different than fall apart.
Yes,
Am I
because
correct on
I
that?
haven't decided that no is a bad thing.
There you go.
So no in of itself.
I love that.
The other three people would argue that no is a bad thing.
I love
and
that.
I won't argue that no is a bad thing. It just is what it is.
I love
It's not
that.
bad, it's not good, it's not anything. He just said no, and I'm not going to attach anything to that.
Now, Jimmy, you and I are about the same age. When you have a bad day, is it the whole day bad, or you just take a few minutes and say, okay, I'll figure this out?
I would say I very seldom have an entire bad day, but have bad moments like anyone else, and you wade through it and you figure it out, and
Take some Pepto-Bismol
or whatever you need to get through the day.
Little whiskey, here and
little
there.
something on the
Little
side. I
something,
don't know.
something.
I think everybody deals with stress and bad luck or bad days differently. It depends on how you're equipped.
But years ago, can you remember in your 20s, how did you overcome challenges? How did you overcome that wall being 20 feet high and you only had a 5-foot ladder?
A little bit of what she just said, not taking
She
no
being
as
Kathleen Bruno.
Kathleen as a permanent answer. I mean, sometimes I think no is good. Hey, don't walk into a burning building. No, there's certain things, but I think just having that persistence and also just being a little naive in your 20s, just not knowing the consequences of what you're really getting into. You're in your 20s, you do things and make decisions not totally based on, experience gives you the breath to look back and go, whew, man, what was I thinking? Why would I even do that?
But
sometimes it pays off.
Almost, that's what I'm saying. That's almost bad.
Yeah.
Because if there is any bad or good, but I'm saying that's what you do through your filter of your life and experiences. You put the brakes and you put the caution in and you put the doubt in, you put the this and then that in. So your 15-year-old self can take on the world, and then your 50-year-old self is like, well, what about this or what about this?
You dip your toe in the water a little bit first instead of just diving in head first. Neither one of them is wrong for whatever situation you're in, and your filters are totally different at 60 than they were at 15, of course.
But I like what Jimmy said about being naive. So that goes back to if you turn off the news, just stay with both of me. If you turn off the news, you're naive enough to know that there is no negativity in the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. But don't you want to be 50?
More applause, Cody. Come on, man.
Don't you want to be 50 and feel the way you did at 15 that anything's possible? Because there is no concrete reality that it isn't.
Yeah.
I would love to see Vince Scully live to be 120. That's my goal. I pray every night.
That's his goal, too.
Yeah. Well, he's a healthy 90. Listen to The Business Life. Jimmy Piccirillo and the coach, 20 years doing the business of life. 1 o'clock every Tuesday, our wonderful guest. She's in the top 10 in the United States in real estate, and she's probably number 1 right here in Santa Clarita. Troop 21, Kathleen.
Century 21.
Oh, is it Troop?
Century 21 Troop.
Century 21 Troop. Okay. I got to remember that. Century 21 Troop, Kathleen Bruno. So what is your biggest challenge today? I mean, you're unbelievably successful. What are your challenges?
That honestly, that was my biggest challenge, and that was what I wasn't willing to accept. That
keeping
my
the
17-year-old,
plate spinning.
No, that I had this amazing success in 4 amazing areas of my life, and yet I wasn't having success. Why am I arguing?
What's his name? What did he do wrong? We got to draw you out. What's your son's name?
My son's name's Carson.
Okay, what did he do? You're still irritated.
Just like Jim said. No, I'm not. Just like Jim said, he was being a teenager, but I put meaning on that didn't need to be there, and now I'm not going to do that because I've decided I'm not going to do that.
Kids are so frustrating. I mean, you said you had 4. Look, your batting average is great. You're successful in 4 out of 5 areas. Unfortunately, the 5th one being our kids. We all have those same. You do all this stuff, and you think you're doing everything exactly the way it's going to mold them into be great humans, and it doesn't always work. They start pushing back at that age at 17, and they don't stop. So.
Amen.
And I needed a different way to deal with that, and I think that's exactly what I got.
And I like what Jim just said. That's a challenging age, 17, 18, because they are trying to pull away.
Especially a boy is trying to pull away from his mom, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He did something. Did he talk back to you?
Oh, every day. That's where the angst was, and I cannot accept.
Would you slap him?
No, but I take his phone away 40 times a day, which wasn't working. That's where the angst was, like, how can I do so amazing here? And, my clients love me and my friends love me and this and that and the next thing. And then my son that I care about more than anything in the whole world, I'm constantly in conflict. Well, turns out, Coach, horrifying as it is, it was me. So
because you're a helicopter mom?
Yeah, among other things. And so I had set it up like that, and then now I have the freedom to not do that because I realized what I was doing.
Here's an idea. Why don't you give Carson the keys to your house and move into the Ritz-Carlton for a month and let him see how challenging it is to run a house.
Well,
you like that idea?
I love it, but I don't. Would I have a house when I came home? Probably not.
No,
it's a fine line between reward and punishment.
I have confidence that he would come to his senses very quickly when Mommy wasn't there.
Yeah.
Kids, and I agree with you, Jimmy. Children, it doesn't stop. I've got older kids. It doesn't stop. We're always their parent. You know that. And they still, if we have a loving family, they still look to us for inspiration, for help, for hope, for a lot of things. It never stops, which is okay with me, I guess.
Which is why I needed to fix it, and that's why I think you can go and you can get what you need and you can do what you need to do to fix things. You don't have to live in the status quo. There's always a better way to do something if you just seek it out.
Carson have a girlfriend?
I would agree with that.
Not that I know of, but that doesn't mean anything because I'm the mom.
No, you have two boys, right?
I do.
So the younger one's not giving you problems yet?
He's not, no.
Yeah. Wait till he gets 17. Oh, does Carson have a car?
He does have a car. He's not able to drive it yet because he doesn't get his license until May. He's got his permit.
If you can hold him off till like he's 19.
I thought 17 and a half was pretty good holding him off. He's a type A. He wants what he wants. And
especially a boy with a car.
Yeah.
My grandboy just got his driver's license last week. Got in a car accident.
It's scary.
Sunday.
Are you? Oh, I don't want to hear that. That scares me.
Sad. Coach has got a sad story. I'm not going to tell him. We're upbeat today.
Violins, please.
98.1. Thank God he's okay. He didn't get hurt. But it is amazing when you give young people such responsibility. I don't think 16-year-olds are prepared to drive. He's 17. So I say wait till 18. If you're old enough to
I agree with that.
Fight for this country, then, okay, you're old enough to drive a car, which is a weapon. Think about it. Driving a vehicle is a weapon.
It is. But having said that, did you get your license at 16?
The day I turned 16.
As did I. How about you, Jim?
I grew up in West Virginia. I was driving at 13.
So, I mean, like every parent that came before us, now we think that's too young. So, I don't know.
I told my girlfriend's mom I was 16. She would loan me her car, and I was at 14 and a half. Right?
No, but Kathleen Bruno, it goes to what we opened up the show with. 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, they don't have the right filters. They haven't had enough life experiences.
I agree.
My grandboy was turning left out of a parking lot. Well, if you're not patient, and you're not looking long enough to see that there's cars coming, wait till the cars pass. Turning left is one of the most dangerous things you can do out of a parking lot.
Teaching them to be a defensive driver. There's so many cars on the road.
But you've done a good job. I know both of your kids.
My kids have had their scrapes with cars, believe me.
You'd be proud of your son, Michael. You ever heard of Michael Piccirillo?
Oh, your daughter got a car from my son.
Yeah, and there's more cars to come.
She liked that experience, didn't she?
Yeah. It's called Rev Up Autosport. Kathleen Bruno, I swear to God, next time you get a car, you call his son. They delivered. I never went to the showroom. Never went to the dealership.
I would love that.
Well, he is finding out the same thing that we've all thought. People hate going to a car dealership. He does it for you, man. Saves you all the time. He does the shopping, finds the deal, does the negotiating.
Listen to this.
Brings it right to your front door with the paperwork. You can sign it on your kitchen table and drive the car.
See,
it's
awesome. Because I cringe thinking of sitting there for 9 hours with the whole thing.
Is it Rev Up Autosports?
Yes, RevUpAutosports.com.
RevUpAutosports.com. So my daughter goes and shops. She got a Honda. What did she get?
I think she got a Honda CRV or HRV.
Something. She got one of the little. So she goes and shops, and she calls me, and she says, "Daddy, anyway."
Still daddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I said, "Honey," I have a local company called Rev Up Autosports. I said, let me check to see if they can do better on the car. So sure enough, they saved her like $40 a month.
Wow.
They
huge.
Brought the car to our home. She signs the paperwork. Boom. Done.
Awesome.
Never had to deal with salespeople or anything.
Yeah, cars are a competitive business, as you know, especially in Southern California. So instead of, he knows he's able to contact all these dealers. He has all these different dealers, and he's good at negotiating and getting you the deal.
So does he
give him
have a
call.
lot, or does he broker it?
Well, he doesn't have a lot.
He
The
represents
beauty of
you.
that
He's
is
your agent.
he actually has a lot at Bouquet Canyon, Rev Up Auto Sports in Bouquet Canyon. I'll just give him another plug. What the heck? But the way this works, the new car buying, it's a new car concierge. He's calling himself a new car concierge. You tell him what color and what make and model you want. He does all the shopping.
But she's got a mommy.
That's
She's got a mommy SUV, which is perfect for a real estate business because people can step up in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love my car. The only problem with my car is it's smarter than I am. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's nothing it can't do. Or that's English. It can do everything.
Well, what else can they put in a car? We have Wi-Fi. What else can they put in a car? I don't know what else.
Well,
TVs. I wish they put a little TV in the car.
TVs in cars. That's
So I
where,
could
where you
watch
been,
Netflix.
man? That was in the 80s.
So I
TVs
could
in
watch
cars.
No,
It's
but
all smart cars. Smart cars now. No driving, no doing anything. You just get in and you're a passenger in your own car.
I don't know, that's going to be a while because they have to put the sensors in the road. You and I are going to be long gone before this happens.
Well, it's already happening. It's done by satellite and GPS. So
they don't have the sensors in the road, Jimmy.
They'll never get all this,
Title Boxing,
the roads paved.
One of
What are you
my
talking
great
about?
sponsors, Kathleen. I need to take you over to Title Boxing. You're not boxing somebody; you're hitting a bag, and it is very stress-free environment.
I love boxing. I think it's fantastic.
I'm going to take you over there. Title.
Yeah.
I watched Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas, the replay of where he got knocked out.
Yeah.
The first time he'd ever been knocked down on the ground. What a great fight that was.
Who beat? Did Buster Douglas also knock out Muhammad Ali?
No.
Who was that?
He wasn't around in the Muhammad Ali days.
Who was that? Never mind. We're going to come right back. We're going to finish up the show and try to draw Jimmy out a little bit more. We have a little disagreement here on a subject that maybe is too sensitive. If you have to be over 18 to listen to this, we'll be right back on the business of life. KHTS 98.1.
Check with your parents.
And now, a cooking tip from Keith Mowry from Bob's Country Meats. Ribs were made for the barbecue, but here's a great cooking tip.
The best way I like to cook the ribs is in the oven, cover them about an hour, 350, then put them on the barbecue for about 15 to 20 minutes, turn them a few times just to get them nice and brown.
Ribs, chicken, tri-tip, pork chops, turkey, steaks, even exotic game like buffalo and ostrich. For the tastiest ribs in town, visit Bob's Country Meats on Soledad in Canyon Country.
If you're in danger of losing your home to foreclosure, you need an expert. Hi, I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I've helped hundreds of Santa Clarita residents save their homes completely for free. I've got just over 20 years experience and a loan modification success rate of over 80%. I can negotiate better terms with your bank and I can save your home from foreclosure. And again, we do this completely for free. So if you're in any danger, please call me today at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I'll be happy to help you save your home for free.
It isn't often when we see a company launch in Santa Clarita and become an international sensation. In 2010, Jen Gerard founded Whitening Lightning in her Valencia kitchen. Now it's a booming international sensation. Leading actresses and international models have switched to Whitening Lightning to avoid the mess, hassle, and sensitivity of other products. Whitening Lightning's simple Dial a Smile kit will dramatically turn your teeth whiter in just 20 minutes. Rediscover how white your teeth can look. Visit whiteninglightning.com. whiteninglightning.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM, 98.1 FM and AM 1220, your hometown station.
Try playing that in the background. Let's see what that. Try a little. I need a little peppier song to start.
Dr. John, man.
Give me 1 second. I'll get you.
Yeah, no, I need a little something peppier, Cody. A little peppier. Kathleen Bruno, Jimmy Piccirillo, the coach, just talking today about life. We if you're listening to the show, and a lot of people are on Facebook, thank you very, very much. I'm impressed with the thousands of people that are listening. We want to just leave you with one thought. We've got about 5 minutes left on the show. Something, Kathleen Bruno, that will help our vast audience. Give me something, Kathleen. It's Tuesday. What can they do the rest of the week to make a difference in not only their life, but the life of others?
Well, I would just say kind of what we're talking about. When you want something created in your life, make the decision.
I always want ice cream.
Well, there you
Kathleen.
go. Then you make the decision to live in integrity, and whatever it takes to get ice cream, you do those things. Because every time you make a decision and then you don't stay in integrity and let the excuses get in your way or the justifications, you can't create what you're trying to create. So make a decision of who you want to be or what you want to do or what you want to have, and then get behind it and live in integrity towards that.
Interesting.
Awesome.
If I could sing, I wanted to be Elvis Presley, Jimmy. You laugh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I will say this. I would say that don't believe everything you read and see, obviously, but learn to seek the truth. Learn the difference between fact and fiction in life.
Wow.
What would you say, Coach?
I would say that be true to yourself, live a life of truth, and you have greatness. I really believe that every single one of us has greatness inside of us, and sometimes it's not easy to get that greatness out. You're a mommy of a 17-year-old, so I get it. We're fathers of older children, so helping you get that greatness to come out is a challenge every day. So I say find books, listen to shows like this. Sometimes just a word. You gave me a thing yesterday to think about. You gave me something today to think about, meaning I wrote it down. This is how you grow one's life. This is how you get a philosophical approach to life, is that you find people like you, and I'm going to follow you around like a little puppy dog, Kathleen.
I hope so.
Because you have so much to offer. When you look at one's life, it's challenging. What Jimmy said when he came into the studio, huffing and puffing, right? Full of anxiety about what's going on today. I've given up the politics because that's what's causing you angst.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. He's putting meaning on that for him. And when you decide it has no meaning, then, or would decide it has a different meaning, you don't have that anxiety.
Yeah, and I'm smart enough to realize the difference. My thing is, I've been feeling this creeping anxiety the last this whole new year, and I can't even put my finger on it. It's just like there's some kind of overarching angst that I feel in the world. I think the world is in
you're
flux.
buying just what Kathleen says. You're getting too much data that has no meaning in your life. Listen to what she's saying. You have a great wife. You have great kids. You have a great
No,
life.
I realize it. A lot of it doesn't even affect me. That's what I'm
Bingo,
saying.
but you
I
are.
live in
No,
a
no, no,
bubble.
no.
So, but what I'm saying is, overall, kind of like you're saying, I care about other people. I care about humans and the world and the planet and what's going on. There's an overall arching writing angst, I think, happening, and I'm not sure that it hasn't always been happening. I don't know that my parents and their parents.
Yeah, that's what I was
I'm
gonna
sure
say.
in their day and age, there was always something going on that also weighed heavily on their shoulders.
Come on, Jimmy. I grew up diving under desks because the bomb was coming, the big atomic bomb. You're too young to remember the diving under the desk stuff. You were still in diapers.
Well, we had drills, man. We did the same thing. The Cold War and the commie scare was way into my era.
Today's Tuesday. You're listening to the Business Live, Jim Piccirillo and the coach with our wonderful co-hostess, Kathleen Bruno. Can you take a week off, seriously, for a second? Can you, between now and next Tuesday, can you not listen to any?
That may be my problem. I may have too much time on my hands, but I finally got busy again, so.
Can you take a week off and not listen to any news?
No.
Then you need a spanking, okay? You need.
But I said no. I didn't really mean no.
Oh.
That you perceived I said no.
But yeah, the show's called The Business.
I wanted to
Life.
say yes.
No, but will you take a week off and realize how blessed you are?
I know I'm blessed. It has
You
nothing
wake
to
up
do
with gratitude like Kathleen does?
Absolutely. You kidding? Every day I look around and go, man, thank you.
Then you need to drink more chocolate milk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say drink more. Yeah, I got that covered too, see?
Do you like chocolate milk?
I do. I like chocolate anything.
You just inspire me. How's real estate at the Troop? Let me get it
Century
right.
21.
21. Century 21.
We're getting a teleprompter next week.
Century 21.
I'll wear a T-shirt that just says Century 21.
I asked.
Phone number and your name. Yeah.
Hello, my name is.
It's interesting. I asked her. I said, "It seems like it's a tight real estate What is that? Music? Background music?
Music, yeah. Said you want something higher tempo, more upbeat. So
Let me hear it.
remember.
Oh, yeah.
Earth,
Why
Wind,
don't we
and Fire.
play that? Why don't we open the show with that?
Now that we're leaving the air, here's one for you.
98.1 FM. So Kathleen says, well, people tell me it's a tight market. Kathleen says, what are you talking about, Coach? I'm doing great. It's because her only competition is between her ears, Jimmy Piccirillo. She doesn't listen to all the crazy noise that apparently you're listening to. Does that make sense?
Yes. Make it stop.
Yeah.
Please make it the noise in my head stop, will you? Oh, wait a minute. It's just my headphones. Hey, the market is great right now. What are you talking about? There's greater demand than there is supply out here, right?
There is. There is. But that's why
everybody wants to live in awesome town. Come on.
they really do. The secret is out. I'll tell you that. The secret is out. We used to do open houses, and the majority of the people at the open house were from in the valley. Now we do an open house. We have people from all the surrounding valleys come. Yeah. And it's fascinating to watch. I mean, the secret is definitely out.
It's a beautiful community.
Why don't we change the name?
Who wouldn't want to live out here?
In Awesome Town. Seriously, why don't we?
I don't know about that name, but and that's just for the Valencia area. But you look at all of Santa Clarita, every direction you go, it's a beautiful, well-planned, well-put together, great community to
That's
live
Jim
in.
Piccirillo, the president of the Awesome Town Chamber of Commerce. We should create what's that show in Minnesota? It's on for years. A made-up town. Can we get our staff on this?
Fargo.
No. It's a made-up town.
Oh, that's North Dakota. Sorry.
Anyway, you're listening to Awesome Town on 98.1. No, we need the three of us need.
I don't know why, but
who
that
wants-
makes me cringe when people say that.
Awesome Town?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Some weird filter I have.
It's a marketing, it's a branding thing. It insults your intelligence. I think,
yeah,
we
maybe.
can't call the town Charming because that was the name of the town on Sons of Anarchy. So
But you know what? I got to give them this. And, I've watched that campaign since they came out with it. And I remember actually how they came up with it and who they gave it to as the marketing company. Love it or hate it, you remember it and you know it.
Yeah, you do.
You go anywhere down in L.A.
Yeah.
and you go, people go, where are you from? You go, Valencia. They go, oh, Awesome Town. It's like, boom.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
From a marketing standpoint, it
Brilliant,
worked.
yeah.
It worked,
Kathleen, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
love
me.
to have
Both of
you in the
Thank you,
studio.
Jim. Thank you, Coach.
Jimmy, I hope you stay away from any news for a week, and then next week let's talk about it.
I will. There's a really high-pitched sound in my head
you're watching
right now.
He's doing the show, watching news.
Yeah,
it's a whole situation.
Actually, I'm looking at other things. So
we got to go.
Oh no, I look at my portfolio.
See you next Tuesday, 1:00.
Bye.